Twitter reported second quarter earnings Thursday that missed analyst expectations on revenue and beat on active users. Twitter said it saw moderate recovery to its ad business compared with March, but ad revenue was still down 23% year-over-year. Twitter's stock was up 5.3% during pre-market trading on the report. Here are the key numbers. The report comes 1 week after Twitter suffered a serious hack compromising the accounts of major figures including former President Barack Obama and Tesla CEO Elon Musk. Twitter grew mDAUs 34% year-over-year in the quarter, the highest rate since it began reporting the metric. It attributed the growth in large part to shelter-in-place orders around the world and more global discussion about the pandemic and other major events. Twitter has been experimenting with virtual events to spark conversation as large sporting events have been cancelled. Last quarter, Twitter offered few signs of recovery after advertising spending took a hit at the start of the pandemic in the US in March. But in Thursday's letter to shareholders, Twitter said, "We saw a gradual, moderate recovery relative to March levels throughout most of Q2, with the exception of late May to mid-June, when many brands slowed or paused spend in reaction to US civil unrest." Twitter said advertising revenue was $562 million, down 23% year-over-year. Advertising revenue was down just 15% year-over-year in the last 3 weeks of June, according to the report. Demand gradually improved once brands returned after the George Floyd protests subsided, Twitter said. The company said it has now finished its ad server rebuilding after it had blamed the server for its Q3 2019 earnings whiff. The completed project should allow Twitter to better target and monetize ads. This quarter, executives will likely face questions from analysts on Twitter's earnings call about the security of the platform following a major hack last week. Hackers were able to access the Twitter accounts of major figures including former Vice President Joe Biden and Microsoft founder Bill Gates and post scam messages from their accounts soliciting cryptocurrency. Twitter has since said the hackers manipulated employees to gain access to internal systems that allowed them to reset passwords and log into 45 of 130 targeted accounts. For 8 accounts of non-verified users, likely meaning accounts for less prominent figures, the attackers downloaded the account's information. On Wednesday, Twitter said it believes the attackers accessed the direct message inboxes of up to 36 of the targeted accounts. Twitter's hack has once again made it a subject of government scrutiny. But beyond the hack, Twitter has had to navigate an executive order from President Donald Trump targeting a liability shield for tech platforms, and more recently, a call for its CEO to testify in front of a congressional antitrust panel alongside CEOs from Amazon, Apple, Facebook and Google.